don't run away. You got to get in the video. Appreciate the opportunity to share with you my entrance into not only the missionary service of the Most Holy Trinity, but why I became interested in being a priest. I've been a priest now for 56 years. Been a member of the missionary servants for 62 years. I realized many years ago I had a desire to, maybe it wasn't as clear as maybe it could have been, maybe or ought to have been for some people, but I never thought of anything other than being a priest. I had family. My father was a New York City fireman, and I had cousins and uncles who were in the police department. And usually when you're growing up like that, the tendency is that you tend to want to follow what the relatives or your father had been doing or something like that. But I never really thought about being anything but a priest. Now why, I couldn't tell you. I was in the later years of grade school, I guess, and a couple other guys in my class. We had belonged to a vocation club at a Passionist monastery in Hillside, Queens. And we would go out once a month for a meeting there. And I guess originally I thought about maybe joining the Passionist community. And I guess that's where my mind had been going, but I can't remember exactly how it came about, but the school was a Catholic school I was going to. And after an examination one day, you couldn't leave the classroom until you finished your examination, and this one sister dropped this pamphlet on my desk. It was one of the vocation pamphlets from the Missionary Servants of the Most Holy Trinity. At that time it was called, and I'm not sure, I always mixed this up whether it was going my way or going his way. Bing Crosby was in one and we were in the other. Anyway, I looked at that and it talked about being a priest in what they referred to at that time, this is back in the 40s, No Priest Land, USA, which was primarily the southeastern part of the United States. I thought, hey, that'd be great to be a missionary right here in our own country. And it also strongly emphasized that missions are people, not places. I was just asked if I could give a piece of advice. But if you're playing golf, keep your head down and hit the ball. If you're not playing golf and you're working with people, I found it's taken me a long time to come to this understanding, but it's the wisdom that perhaps I ought to have known, but it didn't really dawn on me as powerfully as over the years it got stronger and stronger. I was there as a minister, a priest, a servant of God, for the people. And people, everyone has their own sack of rocks to carry around, as a disc jockey in Georgia used to say on the radio. And to accept people where they are. That's what Jesus did, and that's what is so, I believe, so powerful, a tool for us in our ministry. Don't project onto somebody your expectations, your ideas and whatnot. Listen to them, see them in where their life is at this time, and to realize that our Lord, our God, our brother Jesus, accepts them and loves them as they are, even though they are different persuasion of any manner, shape, or form, and just accept them. one of my first experiences when I went to work with the Indians in Mississippi. As I said earlier, that there was a lot of anti-Catholic sentiment and anti-Catholic priest presence there. But I was having a cup of coffee one morning after Mass, and one of my Indian parishioners came to the door and said that one of the parishioners wanted to move off of, she was a sharecropper on a guy's property, and she wanted to move off that property. And so I was only there maybe 3-4 months. So in my own, haughty way, I guess, I figured I was the white knight. I was going to save my parishioner from this unjust situation that was going on. So I told the man that came, I said, come on, get in the car with me. We'll go see what's going on. So I put my collar on. I went down to, I still remember the man's name, but I won't use his name. He's probably dead by now. Went down to the house where he lived on his farm. And I went to the door and I knocked on, his wife came to the door and I asked, where is Virgil? And she said, he out plowing. I said, well, can you tell me where he is? And she gave me general directions where the field was. So I went out to the field and my Indian companion was in the car. And I saw him plowing. I parked the car along the edge of the field and I got out and I asked my Indian friend to come with me, and he said he'd stay by the car. I said, okay. So I started walking across the field towards where Virgil was plowing. And as he finished the furrow, he was coming back towards me, and he saw me and he stopped the tractor, and I had my collar on, and I'm walking across the furrows towards him. And I got to maybe about 30, 40 feet from him, and he got off his tractor and he pulled out this big old red handkerchief, and he took his straw hat off and he's wiping his brow, and he looked at me and said, yeah, preacher, what do you want? And I said, oh, Mr. I said, I understand that this woman, Martha, wanted to move. And some of her friends were trying to get in to help her move, and they couldn't get. The gate into the area where she lived was locked. So I was wondering, is there any chance of getting that open and that she can move? And he said, okay, preacher, now I'll tell you what's going on. She owes me money, and if I let her get out that gate, no way I'm going to get my money. And I said, well, I said, how much does she owe? And we went on to a little bit. And I think he became a little distressed. And his big old hand went into his overall pocket. And he said, now, preacher, he said, I want you to understand something. And he pulled his hand out of his pocket, and on the end of his hand was a pistol. He said, you see my argument here? And I saw that gun, and I'm going, I see your argument. He said, it's a powerful argument. I said, yes, it's very powerful. I said, I understand what you're talking about. I said, let me go back and talk to the people, and I'll get back to you.